Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Rambling Runoff. I am your host, as always, Robert Rios. And yes, we got a lot of hot on the stove sports news to talk about today. But before we get into that, I would like to introduce my co-host for today's show. And sitting with me virtually is Mr. Daniel Tom. Daniel, say what's up.
Hey, welcome back. Happy to be here. Another week, another hot week of sports news, Rios.
Yeah, we're back for another episode. How about that?
I mean, it's about time we stick to a regular schedule.
And not just because that's what it says on your shirt. But yes. I'm glad we've started to do consistent shows again. You know, we've kind of
had a little break here and there.
Yeah, I know. I mean, with holiday break and like I've mentioned before in the past, I do have a real job other than this, doing this for fun.
Really?
I mean, really? Where have you been? You not listen to the show?
Oh, well, yes. I mean,
are you not on the show?
I thought you just did this for a living.
Oh no, unfortunately not. But I wish someday, maybe.
Manifest it, Rios.
We're gonna do something. But yeah, we got some NFL divisional round news to go over for the warm-up. Actually, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. Excuse me. We got some U.S. men's national team news to go over because they played this week, or are playing if you're listening to this a couple days from now. And yeah, and then the warm-up, we got a little something special we want to go over. The USFL is going to be starting this year, so that's what we're going to be talking about. And in the rundown, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, a few things to talk about in the rumble and the rundown. Oh, gosh, I'm already tripping out on my words. A few things in the rundown we're going to go over. So yeah, we got a few things to go over. But hey, Daniel, I don't know if you paid attention to our show notes, but there's something really important in our intro, if you haven't noticed, that I wrote down.
And what's that, Robert?
We officially are on TikTok.
I feel like we're now stretching our reach to a much broader audience.
Yes, of course. Not a good friend of mine suggested it, so he kind of put it in a good form for me. I know TikTok has its positive and negative comments for the app, but I don't know. I'm gonna see what we could do with it. Screw it. What do you think?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with trying.
No, yeah, I know. It's just another thing we could expand our reach on. Which it was just funny because right when I made the account, I got 3 followers without posting a single thing.
It just means the Ramblin' Runoff already has some fans that we don't know about.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's good news all around.
They just enjoy us bantering week after week.
Yes, exactly. And also shout out to all those new people that followed us on Twitter on Sunday. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate it.
They just appreciate your NFL content.
Hashtag follow for follow. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you have it? What's been going on with you? Do you want to say anything to our listeners really quick?
I feel like nothing changes in my life besides doing this show every week, going to work, but also watching some really good divisional games this past weekend. It's another week, and we're taking it a day at a time.
Yeah, same. I mean, I don't do much either. I just go to work and I do this, and then I go to sleep, and then on the weekends I try to, when I can, I watch Wacko football, which is coincidentally our first topic of today, as I mentioned earlier. And I mean, are you ready? You ready to go into whatever the hell we watched on Saturday and Sunday?
Let's roll.
All right, yeah. So the NFL playoffs continued once again into the divisional round. And the first game that drove everybody crazy in the divisional round in the NFL was the AFC bout between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Tennessee Titans. The Bengals were visiting the Titans, in which the Bengals from last week finally ended their playoff drought. And I had to do another thing they've never done and win another playoff game away, in which, guess what? They did. They were victorious. They were victorious 19-16. But Daniel, of course, this game was not it. Not that it was a bad game, but it was not an easy watch if you were a fan of either of those teams.
I think the Titans are the worst number one seed I have seen in the playoffs in a long time.
Oh, don't do them like that. Come on.
But hear me out here. Ryan Tannehill, franchise quarterback everywhere he's gone. You have Derrick Henry backing you up as your tailback. They never got into a consistent rhythm and let Cincinnati just stay in the game. And those 3 interceptions Tannehill threw, it didn't help a gas defense that's now having to play alongside with Joe Burrow and what his lightning offense was most of that game. While it did come down to a game-winning field goal, I'm not sure you can say the Titans should have been the number one seed, but we can thank Indianapolis for losing to Jacksonville for letting that come to fruition.
We didn't even get to mention what happened last time with that game. Yo, what was it? The Colts haven't won in Jacksonville since like 2014, and Jacksonville is just garbage.
I honestly,
that streak.
Ending the Colts season on that day was probably the highlight of Jacksonville's season.
It was. But we're not talking about those teams. We're talking about the Bengals and the Titans, in which the game went down to a game-winning field goal, which was basically the theme of this past weekend, of these past playoff games, which we'll get to all of them, of course. But just to go over what happened, Mr. Evan McPherson, thank you, kicked the 52-yard field goal as time expired and lifting his 4th-seeded Bengals over the top-seeded Tennessee Titans and ending the NFL's longest active road playoff skid. Like, that's just one part of the story, and that's already huge.
And you just have to feel for a 4 seed in Cincinnati. You're going to go in as the underdog every week. Yes, they beat would you say Vegas was hot going into that game against Cincinnati in the wild card round?
I want to say yes, but whatever, there's like a big, let's say like a fight. What ends up happening is there's always that mega favorite, and then for the some strange reason at the last second, the underdog starts getting more, like, I guess, like becoming more of the favorite than the actual favorite. But I'm not sure because I want to say it was a split because Tennessee's good, but like how you said, like they're still Tennessee. Like they could still topple over very easily, which they didn't in this game. It's just how would you say, not a feature, but a trail of unfortunate events that made them lose this game.
And what I really want to say to that Cincinnati fan base right now is you really built yourself something special with Joe Burrow. And considering going into playoff time, Cincinnati was kind of on the outside looking in. And to think now you're a game away from playing for a Super Bowl, it just shows the development this team has had all season. And the fact that you can go into the number one seed's house and knock them off for to now have to go into an even more hostile environment in Kansas City to get it done. It just shows how crazy the NFL can be from week to week.
I mean, I agree up to your last statement. I mean, then again, I feel like a lot of NFL games, especially 2 weeks, especially wild card weekend, like those were stinkers of games.
But you have to start with the stinkers to get to the good stuff.
No, yeah, but now we're in the good stuff. But like, I wouldn't say every week. That's my only disagreement. But yeah, we had these games were good, I think, because sometimes we have a lot of low scoring or tight games, and it's like, are you guys playing good, really good, or is the defense just really crap today? You get what I'm saying?
You can never go wrong with playoff football, though, regardless how good or bad the game is.
Yeah, but I mean, then again, in this game, Burrow got sacked 9 times, and I think that tied like an NFL mark, which is held by like 4 other teams in the postseason. So I want to say Tennessee did a good job containing Joe Burrow, literally, but it was just their own downfall. Because I mean, on a last minute interception, on a forced throw, I don't understand. Because that whole what was it? Last 5 minutes of the game was just turnover after turnover.
But you also have to think about with the way this game ended. Tennessee went for 2 after they scored their first touchdown of the game. You think about that now, and you kind of come back to this might hurt us in the end if we're not careful. And now that you think about it, it probably wasn't the biggest difference in the game, but it may have played some kind of role in having them come up a little short.
I mean, I suppose. I mean, I wouldn't say Tannehill it would be like my favorite quarterback. If I had a fantasy team, he wouldn't be the first guy that comes into mind to pick, But I don't know, for a professional, I think his decision making at the end was just very, very poor.
It just shows playoff inexperience.
Yeah. Well, I don't even want to say it was playoff experience. Like, how do you throw the ball into a crowded space? Like, it was kind of like a panic throw. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you have a point.
Like, I don't know. It just baffles me that on your own, I guess, side of the field, you throw a pick. Like, bro, you can't be doing that, man. That's a no-no.
Would you put this entire loss onto Ryan Tannehill though?
That was that because they had momentum. It wasn't like the Bengals were doing much on offense either. It's like all you had to do, march down the field, get your kicker in a good position, and then kick the ball. Right? Isn't that what happened? Look, think of it this way. He had the chance to do what? No. Yeah, he had the chance to do what Garoppolo did. He had the chance to do what I'm blanking out here. What Stafford did. So what was so hard about it? You get what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying. It's just sometimes you have to look at the bigger picture with some of these games, and it's like there's only so much an offense can do throughout the course of a game. And I mean, granted, Burrow got sacked 9 times, and they still escaped with the win.
Yeah, exactly.
When you get sacked 9 times, it only just means your offensive line hasn't been. I wouldn't even say they suck. They can't escape the pressure of a blitzing defense.
Yeah, because I feel like that the Tennessee's defense is what carried them throughout the game. Because their offense was doing diddly squat, and then they had Derrick Henry, who he was doing his best
in his first game back.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, like it was. I feel like it wasn't all on him, but that was a crucial mistake that just plagued the team in the end.
And now the Bengals are a game away from the Super Bowl.
Dude, that's crazy. If you would have told me that at the beginning of the season that Tennessee, that if the Bengals would have been in this position, I would have been like, dude, that sounds nice, but it's not happening.
We could see another crazy weekend of football this weekend.
You think so?
But we got to get to that later because we still have a few other games to talk about.
No, yeah. But I mean, just to go over some of the stats of the game, Joe Burrow, he went 28 of 37 with 348 yards with one interception with himself. Joe Mixon had 14 carries, 54 yards, and 1 touchdown. And Mr. Ryan Tannehill went 15 of 24, 220 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions.
Well, I think it'll be a very long and very quiet offseason in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have a lot to think about before they get ready for 22-23. But yeah, in all the times that organization's been a number 1 seed, it has never ended well, and that trend continues.
Yeah, and then what's more crazy is that there's no more number 1 seed. Let me see. I'm trying to find. There we go. Derrick Henry, 20 carries, 62 yards. He was averaging 3.1 yards. His longest run was 9 yards. unfortunately. So, I mean, do you think if Derrick Henry would have played not last week, but at least the last game of the season, or had more time to prepare, do you think he would have been more impactful in the game?
He could have been, but you have to remember, coming off an injury like he did, you need your body at full strength. But the fact he was able to come back for the playoffs is a testament to his rehab and recovery. But I don't think you can ask that question and not think about what could have been. So I don't think it would have made much of a difference.
Yeah.
This isn't the same Derrick Henry we saw in 2020.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I want to see this injury is going to hold him back, but
I think it'll change the way he's played the game in the past.
I just mean, like, he just didn't get enough time to get settled into just this one game. Like, he wasn't 110%. You get what I'm saying? Not that he was hurt still, but he wasn't there all the way.
He's still fighting injury. I mean, I'm just impressed he was able to play in this game.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, yeah, same. But I feel like the moral of the story was the 3 picks and that last pick that Tannehill threw. What he had 20 seconds left in the game and you throw a pick, like, bro. And then just for Burrow just to come back the other way, toss it down to Jamar Chase, and then set them up for the field goal. Like, all right, that was it. That was game.
The beauty of playoff football.
Yep. At least this football, because I feel like this is I won't say the gnarliest or the wildest football I've seen. Like, this is what wild card weekend should have been.
But then again, you have to remember who was in wild card weekend.
A bunch of the Cinderella teams that didn't do diddly squat.
Exactly.
The teams that you would, because it's football, like, it's NFL. There's not necessarily, we don't have upsets in the NFL. It just, that word doesn't really exist.
It doesn't coexist.
Yeah. So it's like, all right, you win or you're going to lose in the NFL. Like, there's no, like, this ain't.
There's no in between.
Appalachian State is not going to go up against
Michigan.
Go up against Michigan. Yeah, Michigan. Or I was going to say like a NFL. I was going to say the Patriots, but they suck too. They're not going to go. Appalachian State is not going to go up against KC, Kansas City, and upset them. Like that does not happen in the NFL. You get what I'm saying?
I got you.
But yeah, those were. Do you have anything else to say on this game? If we could move on.
Well, I think we can move on. I think I've said my piece.
Same. I just don't want everyone to say I'm a Tannehill hater. I'm just stating the facts. You had one receiver in the middle of the field covered by like 2 guys, and you throw it to him. Why? Forced throw. But yes. Moving on. We had another game that this one made no sense more than that game. The 49ers went up to Green Bay and a not snowy, but now snowy Lambeau Field to go up against the Packers, in which they were victorious 13-10. Sorry, I'm thinking of a 0, in which that 0 is Aaron Rodgers is 0-4 against the 49ers in the playoffs. Hashtag who's your daddy is what the 49ers fans are saying right now. Daniel, what'd you think about this game?
I can tell you firsthand, I didn't catch this game in its entirety. But I told myself, with the way the Niners finished off the regular season, let's not be surprised if they make some noise in the playoffs. And based on the performance I saw in Green Bay, this team can do some big things this coming weekend. I know we'll get to that later, but the fact that you're able to hold one of the highest scoring offenses in the NFL to 10 points at home, being the number 1 seed, it speaks volumes to what San Francisco's been doing all year on defense, and it shows special teams is the name of the game.
Yeah.
I think it's the least talked about unit on the football field, but they've come up with big plays that people will now talk about for years to come.
Oh no, yeah, like this game was mostly It was not offense. This game was not won with offense or defense. Hell no. It was won with special teams, and it was by the 49ers, who, which if I could explain very, very, very quickly, I gotta mention the snow. The field was, dude, it was snowing. What the hell?
You're in Green Bay. What do you expect?
And then Mr. How do you say his last name? Gould Gould made a 45-yard field goal as time expired, and that's what lifted them over the top seeded Packers, and possibly even ending Aaron Rodgers' tenure in Green Bay. So it's like a double stabbing to Green Bay and its fans. Like, you lose a game not because your defense or your offense sucked, but because your special teams was not having it that day. And you might lose your franchise quarterback who has been threatening to leave for the past 3 seasons. So it was Super Bowl or bust. And I think it was bust, unfortunately.
I'm really impressed that the special teams and the defense of San Fran was able to contain an Aaron Rodgers-led offense to 10 points. And the fact that to perfect a blocked punt, come on, you don't see that every day.
Oh, no, yeah, dude. When that happened, I was like, bro, I was live tweeting the game, and I was like, all right, well, San Fran has to do something with the ball when they get it. And well, they're like, we'll just do something with the ball when we don't have the ball.
Yeah, it also held a special spot in my heart that a USC Trojan is the one who picked the ball
up. What's his name?
Talanoa Hufanga.
There we go. Yeah, Talanoa Hufanga. Okay, he didn't block the ball. Wait, I have it here somewhere. Where'd it go?
The ball went.
Oh, it was blocked by Corey Bojorquez. What?
Bojorquez.
Are you sure it's Bojorquez?
You're talking to a public address announcer, of course.
All right, bro.
Sure.
All right. Because I've met some Bajorns in my lifetime, but
it's Bojorquez.
All right, Bojorquez. That ball, dude. The kicker kicked the shit out of it too, or the puncher kicked the shit out of it too. Because when it bounced off his hand, no one knew where the ball went. It went up high into the sky.
That ball probably traveled at maybe 4 or 5 yards
backwards and backwards. 15 feet into the air.
And it was only then picked up by Talanoa Hufanga to tie it up.
No, yeah, dude.
Scoop and score.
Yeah, scooping. I don't want to say it was a scoop and score. It was just a walk-in, basically. Bro, it was too easy. But yeah, that's how they got back into this game. But we mention that right before that, in the first half, right before the end of the second quarter, before halftime, Green Bay was attempting a field goal in which, guess what? It got blocked somehow, some way. Bro, how do you guys let that happen? You get 3. I'm gonna say 3 special teams mistakes. Cause we'll get to the last one later. You let a field goal get blocked, a punt gets blocked and recovered for a touchdown, and in the top it off, spoiler alert, you allow a game-winning field goal, and there is photo evidence. And if you watch the broadcast as well, Green Bay only has 10 guys on the field right before Gold takes that field goal to win it all. How in the hell do you let that happen? Come on, man.
It's called late game situations. Sometimes you don't think about these things.
Yeah, I know, but it's not like they were yeah, they set up the ball to take the field goal, but it's not like they rushed out there. You get me? They stopped the clock. They had a couple seconds left to take it, and then that was it.
But Green Bay didn't have any timeouts left.
No, I know, but it's not like they were rushing to get out there. Gold was trying to just set himself up, probably took a different lineup, or I won't say lineup, probably took a different walk-up setup to take the kick because it was snowing. So I don't know. I'm just baffled by the lack of
awareness.
Yes, of awareness in this game on the special teams. Not a lot of people will talk about it. That this was the 49ers win this game with the special teams, because if I tell you Garoppolo's stats, he didn't do jack shit. 11 for 19, 131 yards, 1 interception. Same thing for Rodgers, 20 of 29, 225 yards. And yeah, dropped to 0-4 in his playoff career when he goes up against the Niners. He's the first quarterback in NFL history to lose 4 playoff starts to a single opponent. That's a hell of a stat.
You have to think about Jimmy Garoppolo, because they almost let this man walk at the end of last year.
Yeah.
And to only have this man lead you to 2 NFC championship games. So it's like, do you really want to let him walk?
No. Bro, man, when he first started playing with the Niners, he was basically seen as the second coming of Tom Brady.
Oh, okay. Slow down there, Chief.
What do you mean slow down?
Slow down there, Chief.
Bro, you're joshing me, bro.
There's only one Tom Brady.
Yeah, I know, but remember how big of a deal it was when they let Garoppolo leave? They're like, bro, what if Tom leaves? Who are you going to use? I mean, yeah, you guys got Mac Jones now, but I feel like Garoppolo's way better than Mac Jones.
But then again, Mac Jones is just a rookie. Mac Jones will develop into his own quarterback at some point.
And Tom Brady was drafted in like the 13th round. What is that? Now look at him now.
He was the 6th round, 199th pick.
Oh, whatever. You know what I mean.
Call yourself a sports podcast. You can't even get your facts straight.
The whole point is that he was a nobody and now he's a somebody. Like, why can't Mac Jones do that? Is what I'm saying.
He will in due time.
Well, I mean, Tom Brady got his shot when their starting quarterback got hurt. So.
And now he's a legend.
Yeah, exactly.
Go figure.
That's my point. So, yeah. I mean, sorry, we got sidetracked. But yes, Garoppolo, a very good quarterback. Who I guess you would say helped carry this team that had nobody, like between 2014, 15, they were struggling. They were down and out. And a couple years later, you get Garoppolo, helps carry the team. I mean, it wasn't, I don't want to just say his name in this portion of our segment. I'm forgetting his name and I didn't write it down. I hate myself. But who's the guy that they were just handing the ball off to and he would just get hurt every time he got tackled? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm trying to think. I know there's a name.
It was number 19. He was trying his hardest so much because he got the wind knocked out of him. He was limping. I was like, bruh, like this man he cared about his team, and I can't remember his name, unfortunately.
I feel like I'm gonna have to do some research.
I know we're gonna have to get the Rambling RunOff research team to look it up, but all right, it wasn't Eli Mitchell. Was it Debo? It was Debo Samuel. There we go.
I was gonna say throughout the entire last 2 minutes of that game, half of San Fran's offense was limping off the field.
No, dude, it was just Debo. It was just Samuel, bro.
Did you not see the camera pan over to George Kittle on the last drive?
Oh, yeah, he was limping too. No, but I remember it was like 2 or 3 times Samuel was either he got the air knocked out of him or he was limping. He rushed for 39 yards with 10 carries because they were just handing the ball off to him. And he was second in receiving with 44 yards and he averaged 14.7 right behind George Kittle. So he was he was like their what do you call their version of Taysom Hill, but not Taysom Hill. He was their I'm forgetting the name. It's on the tip of my tongue. Not their novelty man, but like their utility man, basically. Like, all right, we're just gonna give you the ball.
It's their Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara all in one.
Yeah, we're like, you're just gonna do it all, okay? He's like, all right. And then shout out to Mr. Nick Bosa coming back, and he had 3 tackles, but hey man, he was bugging Aaron Rodgers all game long. I think he forced a fumble, he forced a fumble with his helmet.
When Aaron Rodgers loses, America wins.
Bruh, don't give me that.
just like when the Cowboys lose, America wins.
Bruh, I was gonna say Alabama, but
hey, any one of those 3, America always wins.
Bruh. But anyways, I mean, I'm not trying to cap on anybody, but yeah, just an interesting game where
You
the
watch
Niners won.
you watch two number one seeds get knocked out on the same day.
That's the first time it's happened since 2010.
And now the Niners are a game out from playing for a Super Bowl. But they still have one more roadblock they got to get through.
You gotta play this other team that also won by a field goal, which I guess we're moving on now. Yes?
Yes.
All right. Well, I got nothing else to say about this game other than Packers, get your act together, and you better pray that Aaron Rodgers wants to continue playing football in Lambeau. But yes,
could you imagine if he doesn't come back?
Do it. That'd be weird.
But before we move on to the next game, where do you think he could end up if he just has to test the waters of free agency?
Well, as someone that's been on Twitter the past 2 days, I've been seeing a lot of deep fake Aaron Rodgers in Steelers jerseys.
Do you think you'd fit well in Mike Tomlin's system, though?
I believe so. I think he just needs a very football-heavy environment in which he's been complaining about. Green Bay's been lacking, I guess, and the fact that he's been asking to have more control over who he's playing with to help him get more weapons on offense, and I think also even defense. But I think it would be a good fit because the Steelers always have a stable team in which, I mean, that's what Roethlisberger usually had. It's just that he was just getting old. That's the problem. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up in Pittsburgh.
He's gonna train in. He's gonna trade in the cheeseheads for black and gold.
He's gonna trade in his cheesehead helmet for the terrible towel.
Hey, it's not a bad transition.
Yeah.
If Tom Brady can leave the Patriots to go to Tampa, he can do the same.
No, yeah, exactly. There you go. That's a good point. But,
speaking of Tom Brady in Tampa,
nice transition. But yeah, would you like to lead this one off?
Why not?
Go for it. We'll switch.
What a crazy divisional weekend this was. And kind of going into this game, you think the Rams are on a high after beating another NFC West foe in the wild card round. Except when they lose to the Niners in week 17, they now give up what should have been a 2 seed to now become a 3. So now they have to go to Tampa to go play Mr. Brady and the Buccaneers. This game was all Rams early, and
it was all Rams all game up until like the last 5 minutes.
If you let me finish.
My bad.
I'm kidding. Just Tampa had no answers for LA's high octane offense. Matthew Stafford probably was playing one of his best games all season. And we have to excuse me. We have to remember who's on the other side of the field. Mr. Comeback Kid himself. And
he's not a kid no more.
He kept Tampa in the ball game, but it was also thanks to 4 LA turnovers, which I know they need to work on.
That's the only reason why they had a chance, especially the last one by Cup.
But it's what makes this game. It's what made this game so exciting. And you would think after being up 24 that okay, this LA just needs to get a couple of first downs. They could burn some clock. But I'm gonna let you finish this one. This game was so stressful, but so fun to watch.
No, this game was drunk. This game was drunk. It was more drunk than the Niners Packers game.
I'm gonna save the term drunk. For our next game.
No. Okay, all these games were drunk. Okay, these were let's get hammered. Some Hennessy, some Modelo Time food, some Jaeger, some mixed drinks, some Moscow juice, some jungle juice, some Moscow Mule, and the tin cup. Like, bro, like none of these games.
Shout out to Joel Beers. I know we're making you proud right now,
bro. Like this game. Shout out Joel Beers. So this game just made no. These games, all these games don't make no sense. But this one, it was like how you said, it was all Rams, and I jumped in. Yeah, it was all Rams all game, because I don't know. This game got close for no reason. It was over. And like how you said, the
But you have the
foretold-
comeback king on the opposite sideline.
Oh, that doesn't matter. It was one time. It was one time. Even though if you're a Falcons fan, you were having wartime flashbacks. And just real quick, on Twitter, they were reposting. There's that picture of Leonardo DiCaprio from that Hollywood stuntman movie he was in, where he's pointing at the TV, like, and people are just captioning like, oh, "I've seen that before."
I remember. So I'm friends with the a Saints fan on Facebook, who is a big Atlanta Falcons hater.
Yeah,
I'm trying to see if I can find the picture, but he has a T-shirt where they have the scorebot posted from the New England Falcons Super Bowl.
mm-hmm.
So it shows the 28-3 score, and he's like, the Rams almost became the next version of this T-shirt.
Bruh.
But just kidding.
Oh gosh. But yeah, or what were you gonna say?
No, that's it.
Oh, okay. Well, yes. So if you can't tell what happened, basically the game got tied up, and can you guess how this game ended? It ended with a game-winning field goal.
It ended with the foot.
Yeah, a foot. It ended with a game-winning field goal by Matt Gay at the 30-yard line. And
But
with the
I
drive,
think we need to talk about how
Bro.
we got to this point.
okay. Do you want to do it? Because I'm getting parched.
Drink some water. I got this one.
I'm gonna get drunk too, bro. Don't trip. Go for
Just
it.
the final 2 minutes. Excuse me. The final 2 minutes of this game was just completely nuts. The Rams are now up 7. All the Rams need to do now is get a couple of first downs. Tampa has no timeouts. Get a couple of first downs, burn some clock. This game is over. It's now, I want to say it was second down. Cam Akers, who's now in his second game back from injury. Granted, he'd already coughed the ball up one time in this game to give Tampa the ball. Ndamukong Suh punches the ball out of Akers' hands to give Tampa the ball back on their own 30-yard line.
This is ridiculous.
So now Tampa has a chance to tie this game up. And here we're all thinking, my God, we're about to falcon this game.
Yeah.
We're really about to falcon this game and give it right back to Brady. And I got to give credit where it's due. Tampa executed their game plan properly within the final drive.
And it wasn't even Tom Brady who did the work.
He only did part of it. His run game and his offensive line was outstanding.
Yeah. Would you like to say that man's name?
Leonard Fournette.
Son of a gun. 13 carries, 51 yards, and 2 TDs on the night.
Just the blocking from his offensive line on that 9-yard touchdown run was magnificent.
I know it was too easy. It's because he was about to get stopped,
And then he finds an open corner.
Yeah, he cut so hard to the right. I was like, damn, dude, like, how'd you even do that? Like, he Houdini that shit.
And then you look on the opposite sideline. The Rams are shell shocked. But you know that meme where the dude's like playing video games and then he gets all serious?
Oh, he like stands up. He like sits up in his chair.
Yeah, that one.
He's in X Games mode, bro.
Yeah, he's in X Games mode. So now you're thinking
42 seconds left.
Now you're thinking Matthew Stafford has to have the drive of his life to either not send this game to overtime
to win
or
it.
set up a game-winning field goal attempt.
42 seconds.
With 42 seconds on the clock.
63 yards to go.
Did they exhaust all their timeouts at this point?
No, because they had to spike it on the last one.
That's right.
So, as I mentioned before, the game ended with a Matt Gay 30-yard field goal, but it was only 5 plays, 63 yards, and half of that 63 yards was like a 30-yard bomb to Cooper Kupp downfield.
With one guy covering him.
Yes, I think they were playing man, I think.
And that's what I think really hurt Tampa in the end. When you have the Triple Crown winner of NFL wide receivers on the field with a chance to make a play like that, you need at least 2 guys to cover him. And
he was hot all game too.
Watching that playback, that defender got burned big time. Had the defender not been there, I think Kupp takes that all the way to the end zone.
Oh no, yeah, dude. And then it would have been game over right there. Because where was Kupp's stats for the game? Nine
Nine
receptions,
receptions for
100,
183 yards,
183
and a
yards,
score.
and the one TD from earlier. And I guess you could say the fumble, but it doesn't matter now because they won.
But he also made the catch that sets up the game-winning field goal.
Yeah.
He doesn't make that catch, that game 1,000% goes into overtime.
And then did you see Stafford, dude, he sprinted, he was like, let's go, everybody spike it, down it. And then people are comparing it to another time when he did it with the Lions, and he's like, his voice is cracking. All right, run. Ah! I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was the same thing that was happening again. Just him going, run, down it. And everyone's just, dude, I thought, dude, but
that was me on my screaming at my TV. Dead ass. That was me screaming at my TV. Bruh. Don't pull a Dallas. Let the official touch the ball, spike it, and set him up for the kick.
Dude, they were like pointing that out in all the games at the end too. That's what makes it more hilarious.
And this is why Cowboy fans will always live rent free in my head,
bruh. But yeah,
what a game though.
I don't
what a game.
No, this game was this is probably the stupidest one of all of them because the Rams were the outright winners. It's just that they made one too many mistakes and they pulled, I guess you could say, they took their foot off the pedal and let them come back.
But now you can look back and think, I'm trying to think here. You can look back at this game and say, okay, we almost gave this game away. We're a game out now from hosting a Super Bowl in our home stadium. But we have to go through our NFC West Division rival to get that done. Yeah. And if you look back at that Week 16 game, the final week of the regular season, the Rams let that game get away from them.
Oh, no, yeah. So if you think they're going to do it again?
If you eliminate the mistakes, you have a really good chance of pulling this one out.
Oh, no, yeah.
But this also means Matthew Stafford needs to be more consistent with his throws. So if he plays like he did this weekend, I think the Rams have a very good shot of punching their ticket to the Super Bowl.
I mean, the turnovers weren't on him. So, I mean, not all of them, but like, I mean, I had no problem with his performance. 28 of 38, 366 yards in the 2 touchdowns. Compare that to Brady, who threw 54 passes, only completed 30, 329 yards, 1 touchdown, and another INT. So, I mean, he didn't play bad.
In my eyes, the king was knocked off the throne.
Yeah.
The playoffs got interesting.
I mean, I do agree, though. The Rams do need to be better with the ball because, let me see what I have right here. Yeah, Kupp had the fumble, and then the offense, they failed to take advantage of a Miller sacking Brady to force a fumble at the Tampa Bay 25. And then also the snapper, Brian Allen, he sailed, dude. He threw the ball over Stafford's head, and that let the Bucs, come back into this game as well. So they need to be a little bit more careful with the ball overall.
Limit the turnovers and the mistakes. Your offense needs to click, and you can control the rest.
Oh yeah, your defense is solid. What they got? Von Miller and I'm forgetting his name. Why am I forgetting his name? I hate myself. Come on, sports fan, don't you know too?
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald. Yeah, there you go. You got those 2 guys on your defensive line destroying the offensive linemen. Like, you guys should be killing them every drive, honestly. They should never have a chance. The Bucs got into this game for no damn reason.
Well, I wouldn't say it was no damn reason.
The Rams were the outright winner. The score just doesn't reflect that anymore because they just let them come back.
Welcome to the craziness of the NFL playoffs.
This is what they were expecting when they called it Super Wild Card Weekend, except it was the wrong week.
It was the wrong week.
Yeah, basically. But
I think we still have one more game we got to talk about.
We do have one more game. Would you like to move on? And while a very loud car passes by, thank you very much. But yeah, we got one more game to talk about, and that was the other drunk game, the other drunk uncle. Chiefs and the Bills. Oh my gosh, bro. it was a close game, but you can at least say this was a shootout. Would you agree with that statement? Or is that
two of the best quarterbacks in the AFC?
Yeah.
Come on.
So, just to give you the score, Kansas City Chiefs 42, Buffalo Bills 36 after a overtime winning touchdown to end it all.
And let's just get down to it. Patrick Mahomes left that ball for Kelsey only where he could get it.
Oh, and then Kelsey only ran where he wanted to because supposedly he's like, yeah, I wasn't going to run the route. He was just, that's desperation route running, just getting open, backyard style. That's the way I like to see it. But yeah, this game, the lead changed hands 3 times in the final 2 minutes of regulation, and there were 25 points scored over that stretch. Harrison Butker, is that how you say his name?
Butker.
Or it's just not Butker?
Maybe it is Butker.
I think it's Butker, who earlier missed the field goal and an extra point, drilled a 49-yarder as time expired to force the extra overtime session. And then, of course, as I mentioned, the Chiefs, they got the ball first. They won the coin toss. And Mahomes took over and sent them home. See ya. Hello, are you there?
Yeah. Oh, I'm here. I'm listening to your commentary.
Oh no, my commentary's done. Would you like to add anything more to the game?
Man, Josh Allen, what a guy! Just the final 2 minutes of this game were unbelievable.
Just bonkers.
Touchdown after touchdown, and while yes, it's disheartening that Buffalo gets their hearts ripped out again in the playoffs. They used to be the laughing stock of the league. They were the equivalent of the New York Jets. No one wanted to go anywhere near that franchise. But with a leader like Josh Allen on that team, what he's been able to do in the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, and he's developed well. I've had this discussion with multiple people saying Lamar Jackson was years ahead of Josh Allen. But now look at it now. It's reverse. Let me guess.
I hate having to see Allen go out like this. I just know this will not be the last time we see Buffalo on the stage like this.
Oh, no, I don't think so either. I mean, unfortunately, they did leave 13 seconds left for Mahomes to set up the game-tying field goal, which, technically speaking, all 4 divisional round games ended with a field goal. Ain't that some shit?
Well, no, not necessarily.
They all. How many times?
3 of them ended with a field goal. 1
with a game-winning
touchdown.
Yeah, no. In regulation time.
Okay.
Yeah,
it makes more sense.
Yeah, and all 4 games in regulation time ended with a field goal. Dude, that would have been crazy if they all ended in game-winning field goals.
That's like Nostradamus.
Nostradamus.
That's Nostradamus type shit.
Dude, honestly, like that dude, like the Illuminati. Like it's just that you don't see it all the time. That's what I'm saying. All these games don't make any sense. Cause look at the stat lines. Josh Allen, 27, 37, 329 yards, 4 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes, 33 of 44, 378 yards, 3 touchdowns. Bro. On the receiving side, Gabriel Davis, 8 receptions, 201 yards, but 4 touchdowns. And Mr. Speedy Man, Tyreek Hill, 11 receptions, 150 yards, and the 1 TD. Dude, that touchdown was dope, dude. Like, I can't even comprehend. Dude, if football was like this all the time, it'd be more enjoyable to watch during the middle of the season. Just throw the ball. Don't go down. Just run your ass off towards the end zone.
But this is why I get super invested in the NFL once the playoffs start.
Yeah.
I can't get into it during the regular season, and I don't know why.
Because you start seeing gnarlier shit. Like, dude, Tyreek Hill getting the ball at the 50-yard line, taking it to the house, and giving the peace sign running past the defender. Bro, that's the gangster shit I've seen in the NFL ever. Besides that, front flip from the Bengals guy that one time when he scored the touchdown. You know what I'm talking about?
But no, I know what you're talking about, but that's just Tyreek Hill.
Yo, that was dope. That was dope. But yeah, this game was just. I mean, I thought the Bills won it with the 13 seconds left. I'm like, there's no way. Like, how could you guys do this? Like, I mean, it was just blown coverage. It was the Chiefs trying to do too much defensively, and they just let the guy run past everybody. But
what a weekend.
13 seconds left. Yeah, I know, dude. Like, I don't even care about these teams. And I was emotionally invested. I'm like, you guys are making my head hurt. But yeah, you go into overtime, and I guess you can say the only mistake that Josh Allen made all night was the coin flip.
Oh man. I hate seeing Josh Allen go out like that. Played such a great game.
I mean, yeah, it sucks for him and the team, but like, hey man, it's football. And there's people out there saying that they need to change the overtime rules.
I was about to ask you the same question. Do you think they should change the overtime rules?
No, because they already changed it once already in the past 10 years. And that
I'd rather see both teams get a chance. No. I want to see it like the college football overtime.
Hey, remember, there's offense and defense. Why didn't the defense just get the stop?
You also make a point there.
Like, that's it. It's because you can't do college football rules because it would just be, what was it, LSU and Texas A&M.
74-72.
Yeah, like, that's just stupid.
What was that? 6 or 7 overtimes?
It was 7. But like, you can't do that because, I don't know, it's just too wonky. And then yeah, too wonky. And then I guess you could say you could just have them play a full quarter, but I don't know. Supposedly it's just I don't know. I feel like supposedly it's a safety thing that the NFL wants to do, but I feel like these teams probably could play another quarter. But then again, if you're gonna give the ball back to the Bills, when does the game end? Because then people are gonna say, "Whoa, we saw KC score. Now we want to see the Bills score." Oh, but what if like what if the Chiefs would have scored? Like, okay, but when does the game end? You know? And then we're just gonna go in the loop. But do you think they should change the overtime rules?
Personally, I would love to see both teams get a chance.
Yeah.
So yes, I'd want to see the rules changed.
No, I'm good. That was the final score. 42-36. Everyone go home. All we know now is that the AFC runs through Kansas City.
The AFC. So we have 2 really good championship games this weekend.
Yeah.
Cincinnati at Kansas City, San Fran at Los Angeles.
Yeah. I would just also like to say that the Kansas City Chiefs are, I dare you to fight me on this too, are arguably the past 4 or 5 years have been the best team in the NFL. Fight me.
No argument.
They've only won 1 Super Bowl, but they've gone to 2, and they've gone to multiple AFC championship games. They've gone to 4. This is the 4th one. So you're not going to tell me they haven't been the best team? Hell no.
Yeah, no, I have no argument.
If you want to fight me on Twitter, find us at Off Rambling on Twitter.
A little shameless plug.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so we got the 2 championship games in which you mentioned both. The Bengals will be traveling to Kansas City. That would be the Sunday game on January 30th at 12 p.m. Eastern, I believe, if my timer and my clock are not out of sync. And also on Sunday, the 49ers will be traveling down to Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium on Sunday, January 30th as well at 3:30 p.m. So make sure you guys are prepared to watch those games.
What a weekend we have coming.
Yeah, I know, right? So very quickly, because we've spent a lot of time in the NFL section. Again, sorry about that, everybody. But hey, we had to go over them. Who do you think is going to win the NFC Championship?
Give me the hometown Rams.
Bruh.
Give me the hometown Rams to get it done at home.
You homer.
I truly, after the embarrassment of week 16 and their last 2 playoff games, I just think LA is going to come out with a fire in the way they play. They're playing in front of their home fans, and I don't know if you read this, but the Rams are restricting tickets to LA-based ticket holders, and they're not selling to Bay Area Niner fans.
Look, that sounds bad, but we live in LA. There's dumb people that wear Dodger hats, but also like the 49ers and hate the Giants.
Look,
you get what I'm saying?
The Rams might actually have a true home field advantage this weekend.
You mean there's not going to be Raiders fans?
Jeremy Gonzalez, I'm talking to you.
Shout out to Jeremy Gonzalez, one of the homies. But
I know my boy Matt Barrera is going to be at the game.
Oh, hell yeah. But yeah,
I really do think the Rams can get this done.
I don't know. I think the Niners, even though they did play sloppy against the Packers, if LA doesn't clean up their act, the Niners are going to find their way back into this game. And who knows, maybe their special teams will somehow win the game for them again. We're going to see a touchdown off of a kickoff.
Bruh.
And we might even see some squib kicks and some offside kicks.
Now you're just asking for too much.
I don't give a damn. But yes, the second game, like I mentioned before, Bengals at Kansas City. Who do you think is coming out the victor from that game?
Kansas City.
You think so? You're giving up your underdog love for the Bengals?
It's not that I'm giving it up. It's just Kansas City. It's so hard to not give them the edge at home. They play their best football at home. And
that is true.
They've been in this spot before. I just think the playoff inexperience finally catches up to Burrow and the Bengals, and I think they come up just a little short.
They're going to run out of gas.
Exactly.
Man, that sucks. For me, man, I can't let go of my underdog tag on Mr. Joe, man. And not Joe Byron. I'm talking about Joe Burrow.
Joe Byron.
Ah, man. This is a very tough decision. It's hard for me. I want to say the Bengals. I want to say the Bengals. All right, look. I base Rambling Runoff off of stats and who has the hot hand. Oh, man. I'm torn. Because stats and who has the hot hand, you got to give it to Kansas City. But I don't know. I just want to see the Bengals just go all the way. But, all right. Final answer. Kansas City as well.
What and why?
I think they're just like how you kind of mentioned. The Bengals are going to run out of gas, but I think Kansas City is going to be too much. And like as my prior statement, they've been the best team in the NFL the past 4 or 5 years, and they're going to show their dominance once again in this game. Like I have a bad feeling the Bengals are going to be they're going to be thrown back into reality.
Now, what about the NFC Championship game?
Oh, I told you the Niners are going to win. The hell, were you not listening to anything I just said?
No, I was listening.
Bruh.
But okay, do you think it's a close game?
Yes, only because the Niners, since they didn't do so well against the Packers, and if the Rams are going to be dumb and throw the ball wherever, yeah, it's going to be a close game.
So you have the Chiefs and the Niners playing in SoFi on February 13th.
Another thing, too, I hate myself, too. Another reason why I kind of want the Bengals to win, too, is because I don't want a repeat of the 2019 Super Bowl.
But I feel like if you do get a repeat of the 2019 Super Bowl, this one might be a little more entertaining.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't want to see a repeat. You get what I'm saying? I want variety in my football.
But I think that's why I want to see the home team play in its own stadium on Super Bowl Sunday.
You homer.
I would give up an arm and a leg if it meant the Rams are going to play in the Super Bowl at home.
Bruh.
Look, my legs are already messed up as is. I'll just cut off one of my legs for a ticket.
Bruh. I can't. But yes, those are our games for the week, for next week. But we do have some breaking news. Would you like to go over that real quick? Because I know we've gone a little over our time.
A little. No, I'm kidding. But I feel like it was a very intuitive discussion. I mean, I would give this news, but I know this one holds a special place with you. So, do you want to do it for some emotional support?
I mean, I'm professional. I could say it's okay. So, breaking news as of this recording, Sean Payton, head coach of the New Orleans Saints, has told the team he will be taking a leave of absence from the team.
What, leave of absence?
He's bouncing. He's
yeah,
gone.
he's bouncing.
I was saying it in professional terms.
I wouldn't even say leave of absence.
He's just leaving, unfortunately. Word, yeah. So he let the team know, I believe last week from his press conference, if I remember correctly. And yeah, he spoke to everybody. He spoke to the Benson family. And yeah, he will be leaving the head coaching position effective immediately. And yeah, I guess you could say he's just retiring, I guess. And he's gone.
Now, Robert, I need to ask you, as a Saints fan, I know we're supposed to be professional here, but as a Saints fan, do you think he would pull an Urban Meyer and walk away from coaching for a period of time just to jump on the coaching carousel and maybe go to an open job when the right time comes?
Probably. Supposedly, I saw on the Twitterverse that
Jerry Jones is on the line.
Yeah. I like how you read my mind that, yeah, like there was already deep fake of Sean Payton in Cowboys gear. I'm just like, bruh. So either, yeah, he'll probably take a break or this might be it. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he kind of takes that route.
Now, who do you think with Sean Payton now out the door, who do you think would be a good fit to run New Orleans?
I've seen his name pop up multiple times the past couple of years, and it's the guy that's been helping Patrick Mahomes be a star.
Bieniemy.
Yep, Eric Bieniemy from Kansas City. Because Sean Payton has been what 16 years.
He basically built that franchise from the ground up.
Yeah, from that span, I have the stat right here. Before he arrived, from 1967 to 2005, the Saints' winning percentage was .403. Since 2006, since he's been there, they've had a winning percentage of .619, 619. And they've had 9 10-win seasons in comparison to their 5 10-win seasons before that. This is from 1967 to 2005, fool. They've had, from 1967 to 2005, they've had 1 playoff win in comparison to his 9 playoff wins. And before that, they had never won a Super Bowl. And with Sean Payton, they had the 1 Super Bowl win in that 2010 season where they defeated the Colts in Miami. So it's kind of a big deal. The Saints, they've also won 7, and they've won the NFC South 7 times. Only the Patriots and the Packers have won more division titles since 2006. And yeah, before that, they've only had 1 playoff victory. So it's kind of sad to see the guy that held the ship together, decide to leave. But hey, good on him. It was one hell of a ride while you were here, but yeah, unfortunately, he's saying goodbye.
It's okay, Robert. Better times ahead for Who Dat Nation.
Yep, hopefully. But yeah, I mean, do you have anything to add on to his departure from the team?
It's surprising that it's coming out now.
Yeah.
I didn't think he would make a move like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to remember a lot of the good he brought to that franchise, into the city, especially after Katrina.
Exactly. Because he was even saying in his press conference, he thought he was going to go to Green Bay. And then they got the call that, hey, we're going in a different direction. And then he ends up here of all places,
He's like, but I know it hurts the fan base right now because you've now lost your franchise quarterback and your head coach in back-to-back off seasons.
And you guys are at negative 71 million in salary cap.
Is that the highest in the league right now?
I think so. We're not. It's them and four other teams, 3 or 4 other teams that have like
I
negative.
feel like the Raiders are somewhere on that list.
Yeah, like I had saw it earlier. It was on the Pat McAfee show. Dang it, I should have got that. But yeah, they're like one of the teams that are struggling. But they're probably gonna have some dummy coach come in there and be like, "Hey, I know it looks bad, but I see this as an opportunity to do a lot with nothing, with players that will get paid less. And when we do get to superstars, we'll do good." Like, no, bro, they're in a hole, bro. They're in, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying, but it's just it just came out of nowhere. You feel me?
No, I feel you.
But yeah, do you have anything else to add about that? Because we gotta get the show on the roll.
I think we've covered the NFL at great lengths on this show this week.
Yep. And I guess we're gonna move on. Can we move on from the NFL?
Let's move.
So to move on, we're gonna talk about more football, but world football. Because guess what? We're gonna talk about your favorite sport, and let's see if we can try to keep it in 20 minutes.
I think I should just go on mute.
You better not go on mute. Because now we're gonna talk about USA World Cup Qualifiers and CONCACAF. Your favorite sport, sir?
El football.
Yep. Because now we got I don't think I got to talk about them before we went on our winter break
hiatus.
Yep. So the U.S. men's national team just announced their roster, which I would read all of them, but I would just say some notable people that are going to be playing in these next couple of games. We got Sean for the goalies. We got Sean Johnson, who just won MLS Cup with New York City. Zach Steffen, who might not even come because he has a strained back. They called back Matt Turner, and new face on this goalie roster, Gabriel Slonina. Never heard of him. Sorry about that, bud. For the defenders, Reggie Cannon, Serginho Des, Mark McKenzie. One of my favorite, Miles Robinson. He's pretty good. Anthony Robinson is also a good player. Noting that John Brooks is not on his roster. For midfielders, Kellen Costa, Tyler Adams, Sebastian Legit once again. Probably the best guy right now on this midfield. Weston McKennie. You know, he struggled with Juventus, but his form has come back. For the forwards, Brandon Harrison, Paul Areola. Jordan Morris returns back to the roster after his year-long injury with Seattle. Ricardo Pepi once again. And, of course, you have to have this man, Christian Pulisic, once again for Team USA. Their next 3 games, they played the end of January this week into February. The first game is up against El Salvador. You can catch that game on January 27th, if it hasn't passed already, at 4 p.m. PST at Lower.com Field in Columbus, Ohio. And you can catch that game on ESPN2 Unimas and I was going to say TUDN, but it's basically Univision Deportes.
I was gonna say ESPN Deportes.
Yeah. But yeah, the last time these two faced off, the game ended in a tie, unfortunately, when the US, I don't know, they do this all the time, dude, where they play down to their opponent, and it's so damn annoying. It's like, dude, you guys have a way better team, and you guys lose to, I mean, not that these teams are pissant teams, but you guys should make them look like pissant teams. You get what I'm saying?
When you lose to pissant teams, it makes your team look
like these. Okay, so the CONCACAF region, it's very difficult to play in because they play really rough. Like, I'm saying that they're not a pissant team, but what I'm saying is you guys should make them look like a pissant team. You get what I'm saying? Like, you guys should make them look bad.
Yeah. Again, you're talking to a non-soccer person, so this is all new to me.
We're making you a non-soccer person. Basically, the CONCACAF region, the region of North America and the Caribbean, it's not, I could say we're the third or the fourth strongest region for soccer, but it's kind of like a beat up your family type of system. So it's either going to be USA or Mexico that's really good. in this case, I feel like USA and Mexico are the front runners, but Canada is starting to come up the rear. In which, just to let you know, I think Canada is in first place right now overall. Which, let me pull up our handy dandy standings, and I can tell you that right now because, yeah, right now it's USA, Mexico, Canada that are leading the charge. Because I think whatever happens after these next 3 games, we'll know who's going to be going to the World Cup. Yeah, Canada's in first place with 16 points, USA was 15, and Mexico was 14. So I feel like whatever happens in the next 3 games, we'll know who'll be going to the World Cup most likely. Because I think USA playing home gives them the upper hand, so we might be seeing a high-scoring game in favor of USA. The next game they play after the 27th, they'll be going up to Canada on January 30th. The game will be at 12 p.m. PST at Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. You can find that game on Paramount Plus, Telemundo, and Universo, which is basically the Spanish broadcast, which I'm surprised is going to be on Telemundo because these games are, whenever the USA plays their game, I know I've said this before, but I hate that the USA has no say in their away broadcast deals or viewings, I should say. God, my bro, I don't want to watch it on Paramount Plus. I'm not paying extra money for this.
But when you love your team, you'll do what it takes.
Yeah, I know, but it's not like I'm going onto Paramount Plus every week to watch the Team USA play. You get what I'm saying?
I get you.
It's like if I get Netflix just to watch one thing and then I have it. I'm basically spending $9, $10, $12 a month the rest of the year, and I already watched the thing I wanted to watch. You get what I'm saying?
You can't go wrong with wanting to watch your own team.
Yeah, I know, but like it just makes it's just a waste of money. It's what I'm basically trying to say.
You just have to find them illegal streams.
Oh, that's what I did last time. I found it on YouTube, which is not illegal. I was watching someone else do it illegally.
We do not condone any illegal streams on this podcast.
You gotta get your Happy Calvins and whatever other weirdo name channels.
Your bilesport.nets.
Yeah.
Why do you think I don't pay for NBA League Pass?
Bruh. But yes, the last time USA and Canada faced each other, it ended in a 1-1 draw with a Brendan Harrison goal, which I believe Canada took the lead first. And I feel like after we scored our goal, we just kind of parked the bus in a way, because I mean, Canada's way better. I mean, not way better, but they've improved a lot. But I feel like the US should, I mean, they have to, because they're playing away. They don't play, USA never plays away. I mean, they never play good away, dude. That's what I'm trying to say that earlier with like El Salvador. Like, they're not that bad of a team, but when you guys go away, you guys make them look better than they actually are. What do you think?
I'm still just trying to wrap my head around this whole discussion.
Basically, USA is very inconsistent
when it comes to playing on the road.
Yes. And it's been the thorn on their side, which is why they didn't qualify for the last World Cup as well, especially in that last game against Trinidad and Tobago. You guys had to win or tie, and you guys couldn't do any of those. Like, bruh. But
all of these fans listening, I am so sorry I don't understand soccer as well as
I know. I'm trying to get you to jump in, and you're not jumping in.
It's so hard.
All you have to do is say, I'm not going to watch it. Oh, that game sounds interesting. That's all you have to do.
It's like you're poking me with a stick, and I'm like, no, stop.
Yeah, exactly. But we got one more game. This is of note, which will be on February 2nd. USA going up against Honduras at Allianz Field in St. Paul, Minnesota. You can catch that game on FS1, Univision, and Univision Deportes. The last time they faced each other, the US had to come back to win out there in Honduras, but they had to do so in dramatic fashion, winning 4-1, because they let them score, and halfway through the game, actually more than halfway, I want to say past the hour mark, it was looking very bleak, and then just out of nowhere, they just poured it on. I remember the goal scoring started with a goal by Anthony Robinson with his patented backflip celebration. Ricardo Pepi joined in, Brendan Harrison came in, and then I think Pepi or Harrison almost scored another one, but it was saved or bounced off the post, but it was cleaned up by Sebastian Legit, who scored the fourth and final goal of the game. But yeah, I'm expecting Team USA to dominate at least two of these games. The Canada one might be kind of hard because I'm hearing they picked an outdoor field in Canada on purpose. You want to know why? Can you guess why, Daniel?
I'll ask why. I can't guess why.
It's Canada. It's an outdoor field. It's winter. What do you think is going to happen?
Snow.
Exactly.
What is snow for 500, Alex?
This won't be the first time that the USA will play a World Cup qualifier in snow. Oh man, what year was it? Dang, I remember it was against Costa Rica. They were playing out in Colorado. Bro, they played in a snowstorm. And the Costa Ricans were so pissed. It was hilarious. Because they're like, dude, we're playing in like 2 feet of snow. You guys want us to, this is unfair conditions. We're like, dude, we never play in snow. What are you guys talking about? And you want to know what happened?
What happened, Rios?
Somehow, some way, a better Costa Rica team lost to a weak USA team. Well, I don't want to say weak, but a lesser opponent USA team, 1-0. Oh, it was in 2013. It was in March, foo. A March snow day. Which, I'm looking it up now. It's now known as the Snow Classico.
The Snow Classic. God. We have El Trafico, the El Clasico, now the Snow Classico.
Yes. Just add Classico.
I want to know where all these names come from.
It said I'm looking it up. It said it was a snowstorm, 28 Fahrenheit, -2 Celsius. Bro, you need to look up a picture of just look one picture. You're gonna be like, dude, they played in this. Yes, that's why the Costa Ricans were pissed. But at the time, we had the German coach. We had Jurgen Klinsmann. And he's like, dude, in Germany, we play like in 10 inches of snow. What are you guys complaining about?
We're Americans. We don't have to deal with this.
Yeah, he's like, dude, just deal with it. And yeah, I think Clint Dempsey scored the game winner, the only goal of the game. That's all they needed. Because yeah, I feel like if we were on an even playing field at the time, I feel like Costa Rica would have gave it to them.
You know, I miss the old days of Team USA, Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey, Tim Howard.
Oh no, yeah, dude. Those teams were decent at least.
Not like even decent. They're more than decent.
That 2014 year, they were dominant. That was a good year. Yeah. If it wasn't for that snow, I feel like that would have screwed up everything because we were killing teams at that time. Because even Mexico almost didn't qualify for the World Cup. Like, we were the dominant team from the region.
Crazy how things can change.
Oh, yeah. And then 4 years later, they failed to make the World Cup. You know what's funny? I think, yeah, the 2014 World Cup, Landon Donovan didn't even go to that World Cup. Just because him and Jurgen just didn't see eye to eye.
And look what happened to Jurgen.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, he got sacked because the U.S. Federation wanted him to play more MLS players, which he started doing because they started getting better, coincidentally. But he just could never get a good cohesive squad together, and they just started tanking. So, yep.
Better days ahead for U.S. soccer.
No, but now people are having problems with Greg Berhalter, the head coach of the U.S. men's national team now, because they're thinking this squad that he called in has, I think, 13 MLS players on it. That's already half. When you have 3 other guys that have been playing out of their minds in Europe, like Josh Sargent just scored 2 goals a pass over. Dude, 30 minutes after they announced this team, he scored 2 goals to help win the game for his team. Same thing for what's his name, Musa. I forgot what team he plays for, but same thing for him. I think he has like 10 or 16 goals, and he didn't get called in either. But their problem is that he's calling in a lot of MLS players who may not be match fit for the next 3 games, and you gotta go up against Canada, who's just been stacked. I don't think they're gonna have what's his name, Alphonso Davies. I think he's hurt as well. So I don't know. It's a slippery slope right now. You get me?
I feel like anything with you could even say the same about hockey when they pull for like the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
any kind of roster transactions like any kind of roster transactions like this can always be a slippery slope.
Yeah. So people are speculating that this is not going to end well these next 3 games just because he has a lot of MLS players. Not that they're bad, but like they're not in form, and you left off like 2-3 other big names that probably could help you. But then again, another issue, like I was telling you, CONCACAF is a beat yourself up type of region, and usually the teams that do better are people that have experience playing against these guys, playing against your own people. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta remember though, some of these guys that he's pulling from MLS teams, the MLS season starts a month from today.
Yeah. So, but they've already been off since December, so they've had more than 50 days of no game experience. When you have guys that are out in Europe playing right now, you can just call in. But supposedly it's a COVID thing. That supposedly that they prefer having guys that are already in a regulated system where like, oh, I already know where he's at. He's at home. I can just call him. He won't get sick or nothing.
It's a logic thing.
Yeah, I call BS on that, low key. Really? That you don't think you can't? You're saying that you think by the time they get called in from Europe, they're gonna fly over here, get sick. Like, I call BS on that.
It's definitely a logic thing.
Yeah,
Logic and game planning.
but another thing too that a lot of USA fans fault on Greg is that he overthinks it. Like if he's playing NFL, like he's trying to be methodical and strategic, like he's playing NFL. Like if he's an NFL coach, when dude, you run in circles and kick the ball. That's the sport you're coaching, sir.
American football. This is why American football is elite. Change my mind.
Oh, shut up. Anyways, yeah. I think I want to say they're gonna win 2 of the 3 games. Like I said before, that Canada game is sus. It's very suspect. Considering, yeah, that it is true. They picked that outdoor stadium on purpose.
I feel like you can't go wrong, even if they win only 2 out of 3.
No, yeah, that's 6 points right there. Because what would be that? 6? What's 6 plus 15?
21.
21. And because right now, the only other teams, because right now, I feel like it's already a 4-team race. Unless we tank the next 6 games, which I highly doubt, there's no way we're not going to make it. Because right now it's Canada with 16, USA 15, Mexico 14, and then Panama was 14 points as well. And then Costa Rica has 9, but the bottom 3 teams are already kind of asked out because Honduras already fired their coach. I think El Salvador's probably going to do the same. Jamaica, I don't think they're going to make it. So right now I think it's a 5-team race, but I highly doubt Costa Rica is going to turn it around. And even if we finish 4th, it would be an easy playoff game in my opinion, because we still have to play. I think you're Oceanic the representative or Asian representative, which may be like a Japan or a South Korea. I don't know what's going on in that region off the top of my head. So yeah, I mean like a New Zealand or an Australia. But I want to say we'll make it out. We'll qualify straight out.
Can't count all your chickens before they hatch, Rios.
Wait, what?
Well, no, you're being optimistic. What I'm saying, don't get too like complacent.
Yeah. No,
that's what I meant by that. That's what I meant by that saying.
I'm just trying to stay confident. Like I'm getting worried just thinking about it. Like I'm just having wartime flashbacks. Okay.
You're like the Falcon. You're like Falcons fans right now.
I'm like the Leonardo DiCaprio. I've seen this before, but this time we're actually doing good. That's why I'm like, I need to knock on wood. Like, just don't have a mental breakdown. I'm having a mental breakdown just thinking about. I'm getting shaky, dude. I can't, dude. Christian Pulisic, you need to carry us on your back, bro. Winston McKennie, get your head out of your ass. Just go play ball. Stop getting in trouble. Zach Steffen, Matt Turner, come on, man. We need you to make those saves. You want to just realize the guy that made the that subbed in the CONCACAF Nations League game, he's not even on this. Ethan Horvath. I just realized that. That's why I was saying like there's a lot of snubs on this roster. I don't know if you gotta take a look at it. I know this isn't your fancy because there's a lot of names on here and you don't know half of them or a majority of them, but
I don't know the majority of soccer.
Well, I'm gonna help you, okay? We're gonna get through this.
I feel like you're gonna start taking me to more Galaxy games this year.
We are. We're gonna ask for the hookup.
Ramblin' RunOff street team.
I mean, I've been thinking about getting tickets, but that's what we'll post on TikTok, the soccer stuff. All the soccer videos.
Daniel takes soccer for the first time.
Bruh. But yes, so make sure you catch those USA games. It should be entertaining to watch. But I think that's everything I got to say about the games because I can't add on anything else than I hope they don't fail in their games.
I hope they don't fail.
Same.
Go USA.
Yep, that's the good way to put it. But moving on now. Yeah.
Moving on.
So we're going to the warm-up. I know it's another long show. Hopefully by the time we get to next week's NFL games don't take up forever. I thought it was going to be shorter this week, but I guess not.
So the NFL really took a lot out of the show.
Yeah, I know, but hey, we're moving on, right? We're rambling for a reason. So the warm-up, we have more football, just not NFL. Daniel, would you like to introduce this topic?
Can we see football year-round when the college and the respective NFL seasons come to an end? I would think so. It looks like we're about to embark on year-round football 3.0, better known as spring football. Later this year, the USFL, better known as the United States Football League, will launch their first official season. How many teams we got here? 3, 4, 5. We have eight teams.
8 teams, sir.
All with some that have pro franchises and some who only see very little football throughout the year. We have year-round football coming back to make a return this spring. And there's a little bit of history that goes into that with this whole new USFL. Can we remember Rios back in early 2020, the failure of the Alliance of American Football?
Bruh. You mean spring football 2.0 after spring football 1.0, aka the XFL?
No, the XFL was spring football 2.0 because the AAF came first.
Did it? Oh,
the
are you
AAF
sure?
was first.
Oh, damn, I'm tripping out then. No wonder why they went bankrupt.
The XFL was just a better model.
Oh, no, yeah, and because it was easier to watch. It was on, what, NBC? Was it on NBC or ABC?
ABC.
ABC, Fox, and FS1. And FS2, I think. So it was easy to find and watch the games. The AAFF was, I think it was on, what, CBS or NBC? Or both?
I think it was both.
Yeah, it was never going to work.
The AAF only played 8 of their 10 weeks. They didn't even finish the season.
Yeah, that's stupid.
And COVID had nothing to do with it, which was the funny part. Just a whole lot of legal issues, bankruptcy. Just it wasn't a well put together league.
Yeah, exactly.
They wanted to give fans something to cheer about after the NFL season ends on Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah, and they were trying to lean on that American aspect too. I was like, all right, let's see where this goes. Because we just had one league. Well, apparently I'm getting my timelines mixed up. We already had another league fail a couple years ago, but apparently now that other league that failed a couple years ago failed again due to the end of the world, the XFL, which also returns in 2023. But speaking more on the USFL, this isn't this isn't their first go around. They were around in the early 80s, right?
Before we were even around.
They were founded in 1982 and ceased to exist in 1986. This was not just dump league. Like they actually had players that, that Hall of Fame players that played in the league, that played in NFL, Like you had Pro Bowl running back like Joe Cribbs, 3-time Pro Bowl safety Gary Barbaro. I don't know how to say his name. You had other Pro Bowl Hall of Famers like defensive end Reggie White, offensive tackle Gary Zimmerman, Jim Kelly, Steve Young. You had notable people playing in this league, and they ended up going to the NFL. But just quick recap: the end of the demise came when they tried suing the NFL for monopolizing football, which was kind of weird. Which they did win that case, except they only won like $3.
Better than nothing.
Do you want to know who else helped run that league, Daniel Tom?
Who helped run that league?
He has your same initials. Fun fact. He was former president of the United States of America recently, Mr. Donald Trump.
Wow.
And they did the documentary on ESPN, and it was freaking hilarious because they showed him the check that they won from the lawsuit of the $3 and whatever cents. He just looked at it in disappointment.
The judge could just pull out the $3 out of his wallet. Here you go.
Yeah, it's because I think what happened was that they showed proof that it was a monopoly, but they didn't show proof that it negatively affected them in a majority stake. You get what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying.
I think just to make it simple in non-court terms, but yes, the USFL is trying to make a comeback as another spring league, and they will start April 18th. And on their official website, it says in 80 days. And yeah, as Daniel mentioned, they have 8 teams, and those 8 teams are comprised of, let me pull them up so I can get the names right, the New Jersey Generals, the Michigan Panthers, the Philadelphia Stars, the Pittsburgh Maulers, the Birmingham Stallions, the Houston Gamblers, the New Orleans Breakers, and the Tampa Bay Bandits.
Now, let me just get this out of the way now. Do you think this will be a good brand of quality football that fans would be looking forward to after the NFL season ends in a couple weeks?
No.
Why?
However, I'll get to the why. However, I will say there will be a thirst for football because it doesn't end, they don't start immediately after the NFL. So I'm pretty sure at some point people are going to be hankering for football in the spring. So I'm pretty sure they'll get that crowd, but I don't think the quality will be good just due to the fact that the AAF was just hard to watch because they were trying to be more rough than they're trying to give more football. They're trying to give quantity over quality when they should have done it backwards, in which I have a bad feeling this league is also going to do the same.
Bend over back to try and make a product.
Yeah. Like unlike the XFL, which they knew they were going to be, they kind of did. They were on that in the gray area where it was a lot of football, but it was crappy football, but they knew it was crappy football. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, but this crappy football brought them in ratings.
Yeah, exactly. It was just fun. It was just fun to watch.
Personally, I went to 2 of those games when the XFL did its reboot.
Mm-hmm.
Crappy football, great family fun, but
and it was
you
cheap.
also saw a lot. You also saw a lot of players in that league get picked up by NFL teams later on after the league folded.
Yeah, there's a few names that not notable names because I don't have them written down, unfortunately. But hey, it is good because now it gives them a second chance.
And now that this league is going to make a return, I'm very excited to see where it could be, what kind of product it can be going forward.
Yeah, and another thing too, what all the comment sections on YouTube and Twitter are saying is that they wouldn't be surprised if we see what's the word? Like a combination. I know a merger between the USFL and the XFL.
I just want to know what the rules differences would be between the 2 leagues.
Well, the USFL is going to use mostly NFL style rules. So
the 4 15-minute quarters.
Yeah, your coin flips and whatnot.
I think the one thing I really appreciated about the XFL, it was just less rules, just more pure football.
Yeah, like, more backyard stuff.
The kickoff rule in the XFL, I would love to see adopted into the NFL.
Or like instead of taking a field
extra
goal,
point, 2-point conversion,
2-point, 3-pointer.
Was there a 3-point rule in the XFL?
I think so. but it was just that it would move to like the 30 or the 40-yard line.
It was almost like pace of play in Major League Baseball.
Yeah. But the only other thing, I mean, we're just going to talk about this very quickly, but the only other thing I'd like to bring up is that they put the teams in regions that already have teams. And as I know we were talking before the show, having teams in places where they already have teams for the NFL,
logistically doesn't make sense.
It's a hard sell, especially with the LA Wildcats and was the New York, whatever they were called.
Oh, I think it was the Riptide.
I don't know. I don't remember. But no one went to those games is what I'm saying. And you have teams, what is it? 8 teams already have a team.
Tampa Bay had a team in the XFL.
Yeah, but no one went there. Yeah, but they sucked.
Not necessarily. They had some good talent.
Yeah, but they were the worst team.
They almost beat LA.
Almost. That's the thing.
I think I still have the video of the game-winning pick in the end zone,
bro. Well, we could post that on our TikTok later.
Yeah, should just it. I think the XFL was a better model. I'm excited to see what
it was a better product.
To see what the USFL can do.
Yeah, same.
But XFL reigns supreme.
Mm-hmm. Of course. So luckily, yes. Just really quick before we move on, the XFL will come back, as I said, 2023. I don't know if it's going to come back in the same degree as it did prior because we do know
it's coming back.
Yeah, it is. However, coming. I just hope it's the same. I hope. If not, it's not going to be as popular as it was the first time.
I mean, you can't really complain. Everyone wanted the league back, and now we got it. So now we just have to be okay with it.
Yeah. So beggars can't be choosers, but hopefully they last longer than they did before. Fingers crossed. But yeah, that's the warm up with your USFL news, which is going to sound weird to say in the next year. But yeah, you ready to start wrapping things up a little bit here?
I think we should.
Let's go into the rundown, everybody. Woo! I know it's been a long one, but hey, screw it. We're rambling about sports, right, Daniel?
It's in our title.
Yeah, it's in our blood. We love sports. So yeah, the rundown. First thing up, we got some MLB news lockout updates. So
this is probably the greatest progress we could have seen in the lockout.
The greatest thing we could see is when the lockout ends. But
yeah, okay. You have a point.
So they finally got to meet this week after having negative discussions not so long ago. The MLB agreed to accept a parameters of I'm using their terms, pre-arbitration bonus pool for
arbitration.
Arbitration. Sir. Thank you very much. I'm parched. Pool for the top 30 WAR or WAR. Don't ask me. That's what they say. The MLBPA is seeking 105 million, and unfortunately, the league only offered 10 million, which is, in their terms, chump money. And then the MLB also offered a minimum raise to 615,000. However, the Players Association wants 775,000. And with that, the MLB withdrew their offer to change. I'm going to say it wrong again. To change arbitration structure. A pre-arbitration bonus pool gets the best young players paid more, which is what the players did want, and it's a good thing for them. However, yeah, they didn't. They want that money, man. The players really want that money because I don't know. The league says they lost money, or they were going to lose money during the pandemic. But like, you guys are still afloat, so it's not like you guys are going bankrupt anytime soon.
But we all know how owners get when it comes to stuff like this. Yeah,
they really. I don't know. It's just I don't want to villainize the owners or the players. Like, it's just it is a lot of money up for grabs. Like, there's a lot of lives that depend on this money. So I don't know. We would just have to see where it goes because everyone thought that. Well, we're still in the same boat basically. That what's it called? I'm blanking out. That there will be no football in the next month or two.
Wrong sport, buddy. Baseball.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I'm still thinking of the damn USFL. Damn it.
Spring training games are going to be in jeopardy if they don't come to an agreement within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, exactly. So we might not be seeing no baseball because I think it was the Marlins or the Blue Jays that said, all right, no one don't plan on coming to spring training anytime soon. Like they're already getting ready for that. And supposedly, I forgot who it was. There was 2 baseball players. One plays in MLB and one plays in the minor leagues. They had to go to the Thanksgiving dinner, but legally they're not allowed to communicate. To communicate.
Right.
So supposedly they didn't talk to each other all Thanksgiving dinner.
Well,
That's how bad this is getting.
So then the Anaheim Ducks had their Angels night. Because of the lockout, the Angels weren't able to send any of their players to the game to represent the Angels because of the lockout.
Yeah.
So what did the Angels do? They sent the damn rally monkey to drop the ceremonial.
Are you serious? I didn't hear about that.
Yes.
That is freaking hilarious.
And they said because we're not allowed to send players, we settled by sending the rally monkey.
Stupid rally monkey. Hey, at least with the Dodgers, we have the rally banana.
Do we not remember the rally bear from a few postseasons ago?
No, I don't remember the rally bear.
The dude who jumped on top of the dugout and then got tackled by security?
Oh, I don't remember that. I remember the Dodgers used to have the Elvis impersonator, but I think he disappeared, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, do you have anything else to say about the lockout?
I just hope they come to an agreement soon.
Same. I like my Dodgers. But on some good MLB news, we got some Hall of Fame ballot inductions, possibly. Curt Schilling is one of them. Roger Clemens, Sammy Sosa, and the always controversial Barry Bonds. Along with that, for the first time, we were seeing names of Alex Rodriguez, David Ortiz. And I mean, those are probably the 2 newcomers with the strongest credentials. But before the show, you had some words to say about Barry Bonds. Would you like to say some words about him, Daniel?
I mean, at the time of this recording, they've already excuse me, they've already announced the Hall of Fame class, and Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, and Curt Schilling all ran out of eligibility, so they were not selected to this year's Hall of Fame class. They each fell under the 75% threshold to be enshrined. Barry Bonds had 66% of the vote, Roger Clemens with 65.2, and Curt Schilling with 58.6. Excuse me. Their only way now into the Hall of Fame after 10 years on the ballot is to go through the committee, but they have so much controversy over their careers, it's never going to be easy. But
yeah.
As a Dodgers fan, you don't want to see your rival go into the Hall of Fame. But with what I watched with Barry Bonds growing up, there should be no reason why he shouldn't be considered. He was one of the best bats to probably play the game.
Are you sure? He used Sir, he used illegal substances. What are you talking about, Willis?
So did the other 2 dudes on the ballot.
Okay, look. If someone who basically got not that. All right, I'm putting them in the same boat, okay? If someone that got blacklisted from the league or is seen in a negative light is going to be in the Hall of Fame, it's going to be Pete Rose.
At some point, they're all going to have to get off the commissioner's exempt list.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like at some point, because Pete Rose was a good ball player too. He just made he made a terrible decision in gambling on his team.
What I don't like about the Hall of Fame, at least right now, is all these decades later, the baseball community is still like holding on to a tight grip with this PED issue, and they're not valid. Like they would rather use a technicality like this than preserve history of what these players actually did for the game.
Yeah, baseball is weird food. Like a lot of the guys that came in during the previous lockout of the MLB, basically got exiled from whoever their teammates were, who were the real ball players. Like, I mean, this is the reason why they started using steroids, because they couldn't hang with the normal ball MLB players. So that's why you had like a large steroids use after the lockout.
I feel like when you bring up issues like this, no one wins.
Yeah, exactly. It's because baseball is just kind of not that
Baseball's always been America's pastime.
Yeah, it's just it's having a hard time transforming itself. It's very simple. You throw the ball, you hit the ball, and then you run in a circle. The end.
I do hope one day some of these policies end up changing and we see players who do deserve to go to the Hall of Fame get there at some point.
So you're pro Barry Bonds and I'm anti Barry Bonds.
Yes.
Bruh. You're wild. Steroids, cheating. You're allowing cheating?
I wouldn't say I'm condoning cheating. I look at history.
Bruh. I look at 400 home runs that were used was cheating.
I look at being the career home run leader, being the best hitter of the generation, the early generation. I'm not knocking any of the current guys, but he's had a damn good career.
I guess so. Even though all his numbers are fake because he cheated.
I think we need a whole nother show just to argue this.
All right. Well, maybe next time, because we've been running a little long and we got three more things we got to go over really quick. Just quick shout outs. In the UFC, I really had UFC 270. Francis, can you help me out with his last name? How do you say this?
Gnu?
Francis Ganu defeated Surly Gain by decision to become champion. In boxing, Mark Magasayo beat Gary Russell Jr. by majority decision to become the new WBC featherweight champion. Shout out to them Filipinos out there. And the last thing I just like to note, this coming up weekend is the Royal Rumble. Who is going to win? Who do you think is going to come out? I have no idea. Maybe the Undertaker. No, I'm just kidding. The Undertaker's not coming out.
You're wild.
Who's going to come out in the Royal Rumble? If you could pick anybody, who's going to come out?
I don't even watch WWE, my dude.
Well, just pick anybody. I know you know somebody.
Roman Reigns.
Bruh, you suck.
You said pick anybody.
Never mind. Epic fail. But yeah, Royal Rumble, check it out. You never know what's going to happen. But do you have anything to add on to our program, our very long program for today?
I apologize if any of you get bored, but
this wasn't a boring show. This was a good show.
I'm talking to our viewers. I thought this was a great show. I'm just saying,
a great show.
Wow, we really knocked out a lot.
We did knock out a lot. I know it's we got to wrap it up, but
that NFL divisional took
longer than last week. Dead ass.
And I think championship weekend's gonna result in the same damn thing.
Hopefully not, but yeah, I think that's everything. You're good?
I'm good.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to another episode of Rambling Runoff. If you're watching / listening on YouTube, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate it here. If you're listening to us on Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, whatever you may be listening to, your preferred listening platform, thank you once again. If you're able to leave a like or a review on it, please do so. We'd like to hear your feedback. If you want to hear more from us on Twitter, you can find us at Off Rambling, on Instagram at Rambling Runoff, and once again, we're on TikTok at Rambling Runoff. So hopefully we post some stuff there. If you want to find more of me on Twitter, you can find me at Robert RRY. Daniel, where can they find you at?
They can find me on Twitter at The Real DP Tom.
Nice. And yeah, that was our show for today. We'll catch you guys next week. See ya. Bye. Peace.